What is up, Bucs fans? Welcome back to another one of my videos. I am Rami B, and I am here with another reaction to the Bucs Houston Texans game. If you are new here, make sure you click the subscribe button down below. And as you can see, I'm not in my normal setting. I'm actually on vacation in a hotel in Orlando. Don't even have my Bucs gear on. But anyways, I'm going to do a really short and quick reaction to this game. I didn't have a chance to watch it all. On the road, I got to watch a little bit. But there was a couple things that stood out to me. Number one, offensively, this was a game that I figured that the Bucs would be able to win and was a winnable game, but a game that would require a lot of work to win just because of the offensive weapons. And seeing how the game ended up 23-20, I have no doubt that if we had Godwin or Evans or both, that we would have dominated this game. Jameis had 4 picks. Some of them were bad decisions, but again, we didn't have good offensive weapons, and of course he wanted to feel like, he had to take over and make more plays because I think 3 or 4 of our guys on offense, receiving options, were making their NFL debuts today for the first time. So that's obviously not a good, recipe to win, especially week 16. This was like a playoff game for us. Obviously, we're playing a very good team, and I think they came in maybe thinking that it would have been an easier win, but of course it was hard for them. Defensively, I think that our defense has finally become a little more legit. I think once Hargraves was gone, that first Atlanta game, from that game on, or maybe it was the Tennessee game, we haven't given up a 300-yard passer. So that was Tannehill, Matt Ryan in their house with Julio Jones and all those weapons. Drew Brees. Who else did we have that came in? Colts, but Justin Watson having DeAndre Hopkins is definitely a big addition, and having Will Fuller and those weapons, to see that fact that our defense had 5 sacks, JPP getting 3 of them, and then our secondary holding them. I think DeAndre Hopkins had under 40 yards total, if I remember correctly. So Carlton Davis has really made himself out to be our best corner as of late. He does give up sometimes big plays and some pass interferences, but he also benefits us on the other end, where he does get a lot of stops against top receivers. So I think overall our defense has really turned the corner. It's been 5-6 games, I think, where our defense has played average to upper tier level defense, maybe going into elite level defense. So I definitely think this is something that is definitely going to be a permanent change. It's not like 2016 where Mike Smith had our defense playing well for 5 or 6 games and we thought it was going to be great, but it wasn't. This feels like it's actually going to be a big change because our young corners are getting more confident, and you can see even with this loss, I mean, it sucks because you'd want to go 9-7, but even with this loss, you can see that the losing culture is kind of gone. A winning culture, you're obviously not going to win every game, but a winning culture, you're going to be in it until the end. I mean, when Jameis throws 4 interceptions and we have no weapons, you'd think that we would get blown out or destroyed. We lost by 3 points, and we were in it all the way until the end. So I'm not going to really knock Jameis Winston too much on this. This would have been a game where he can prove that he deserves top-level money, and is a game where he could have proved that, you guys need me, and I'm going to carry the team. But as Bruce Arians said earlier in the week, we can't really go no huddle as much because the receivers aren't very familiar with the lingo and things like that. So I think that held him back a little bit. Now, if we had just lost Godwin and Evans and we just had Scotty Miller, Rashard Perriman, Justin Watson, I think would have been much better. And this Jameis really could have carried the team, but having players that have never really played in a professional game before outside of a preseason game, there's definitely going to be some lag. It's going to be more for them, it's going to be like training camp kind of stuff, the basics. So not too worried about that. I think looking into next year, we're going to be pretty good. I think we bring Jameis back, like I said before, because there's nobody that's going to be better than him. I was reading a stat that Jameis has 28 picks, and in the last 30 years, only 2 others have had 28, and it was Brett Favre and Peyton Manning, I think, and Eli too. Sorry, 3 other ones, and all of them had bottom 10 offenses, bottom 10 scoring offenses, and they all had losing records where we might go 7-9 or 8-8, but we have a top 2 offense in terms of yards, top 3 offense in terms of yards, and top 3 in terms of scoring. So that's even with those picks and stuff, we're able to move the ball, which tells you how good Jameis really is. He can just turn off that switch after a pick and come back and still lead us down. Usually when those quarterbacks are struggling like that, they struggled all season and couldn't put their teams in position to win. So overall, I think we'll be all right. But not to make this too long, because like I said, I haven't seen it. I think I'm going to end it here. Next week, I will be at the Atlanta Falcons game, so I will be vlogging the game on this camera and potentially doing a review, reaction to the game at the game, or maybe the day after, because I travel that night. I may have it up that day or the day after. But anyways, yeah, thank you for tuning in. Once again, go Bucs. Not too mad about the loss. This was the game that we figured could have been a loss on the schedule. I think we beat Atlanta next week. I have no doubts about that. Those receivers and weapons will be a little more comfortable with the system, and then we'll be at home again. And I think a lot of fans will show up and show support. And the defense will definitely play lights out. So, yeah, once again, thank you for tuning in. If you are new here, make sure you click the subscribe button down below. I'm Rami B, and until next time, let's go Bucs. One more week in the season. Let's get that dub next week and finish the season 8-8 after starting 2-6. I am out.
Our offense tough, our defense rough. Go Bucs, go Bucs. Ain't no other team stopping us. Go Bucs, go Bucs.